teams from the best of Australia's car building and car tuning workshops to see who can build the toughest street monster. Our teams will go head to head in a final fuel-burning, rubber-shredding competition. This week, we head north to Brisbane as NRL superstar Josh Maguire checks out his new ride. Matt from HPF drops in on Nathan Higgins and updates us all on his new Higgins head and manifold package for his 7.4 litre beast. But first, the boys from HPF add some serious horsepower to this future classic Aussie muscle
Just road testing, doing a final road test on Customer's Motorsport Edition. So it's a VF2 Spitfire Green Motorsport Edition. And just for those who don't know, the Motorsport Edition was something that Holden produced to acknowledge the end of the Commodore as we knew it being produced in Australia. There was 1,200 units built by Holden, with supposedly 200 going to dealers and Holden employees, and 1,000 to be released to the public. They're a great car. They've got lots of nice little features as a Motorsport Edition. Customer, however, he wanted to make it a little bit better. He wanted to personalise it more, so he's brought it to us, and we've fitted an LSA supercharger kit to it, and our head and cam package, along with some MRC lowered springs, just to give the car a little bit more aggressive stance. The upgrades that we've done, it makes 600 horsepower at the wheels, almost 440 kilowatts, and I might add that that's on 10 PSI of boost. So we're certainly not pushing it in any way, and we actually do that for a reason, and that's really because the LS3 engine block has limitations, and yes, you can make more, and I know there's people out there making more power on these blocks than that, but we're all about reliability, and 600 horsepower at the wheels in this car is plenty. We're really happy. Drivability, perfect, you know, throttle response, really good. And part of that is due, it's got a 102mm throttle body that we've added to it, and Nathan Higgins has CNC ported the inlet for the supercharger and the actual LSA supercharger housing, which he's done a fantastic job, and that helps with throttle response and overall power. And the other thing that we have done is we've fitted a catch can, and that's really just to help manage oil in through the PCV into the inlet, obviously try and keep that inlet tracked as clean as possible. So yeah, look, overall really reliable, good, fun package, plenty of grunt. You know, all I've got to do is just put my foot down, nice, strong, linear power. Really, really happy with it. Get it back to the shop now, give it a clean up, and let the customer pick it up and have some fun.
Next up, Blue Chem's Neil Cochrane shows us how to achieve more performance and better economy whilst looking after your pride and joy.
Today we've got Tim Bates coming down with his patrol. Now you may remember Tim from last season where we did a bit of high country driving with him after we remapped his ECU. Now Tim's looking for a bit more grunt out of his 3-litre patrol. It's a 2009 car, it's done a few Ks, but we think we can put a nice shiny turbo on it, big intercooler, and turn up the wick and make Tim happy. Timbo, good to see you.
Matt, how you going? Good?
Yeah, good, mate. You all ready?
Yeah, no, very excited about the plan that we've come up with for the patrol. It'll be great, I think. I think at the end of the day, you know, as you guys have said, you know, this is the motor that's designed for this vehicle. Let's stick with what we've got. You know, this has done a lot of hard work up in the high country over the years, and you know, it's a 2009 model 3-litre Commonwealth diesel motor and 275,000 odd Ks on the clock, and a lot of that's been hard work, but it's been super reliable. So, and I really want to keep the 3-litre because it's just been a fantastic vehicle and a great motor. So let's stick with what we've got, I reckon. Yeah,
well, we don't want to affect the economy and the reliability. We want to keep it going, keep you reliable still while you're out there, but give you the power that you're looking for.
That'll be fantastic.
Timbo, we've fitted the turbo to your car, the intercooler to your car. You've had it for a while now testing it. What do you think?
The power increase is just amazing. Like that power range for about 2,000 to 3,000 rev range.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
And that's right where you are when you're driving, right?
And that especially that low range, it's right in the pocket there for that low range work. But even on road, you know, to overtake vehicles now, there's no run-ups required.
Yep.
There's no Ferrari, but for what it is, it's absolutely fantastic from what it was before, yeah.
Because we're starting to talk nearly about 200 kilowatts at the flow now, this engine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a bit.
It's a big change from where it was, yeah.
But I think the key to that is that through the combination of the turbo and the intercooler, it's still safe as houses.
Yeah. The fuel economy range is sort of around about 12.5 to 13 litres per 100, which is great
on these big meets, right?
For a big thing like this, yeah. It's the fuel range is still good, and we've got all that extra power to go with it. So it's fantastic.
Win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fantastic. Really good.
Blue Chem PowerMax products are made in Germany, tested and approved by original equipment manufacturers and racing teams from around the world.
In your fuel system, deposits and water from condensation can affect the performance of your engine. Deposits on the injector nozzle and blockages can disrupt the injection of fuel. The engine starts to make pinging and knocking noises. Non-atomised fuel at particular points can damage the piston and cylinder during combustion because temperatures are too high. The engine performance over time will decline. Modern alcohol fuel, which is used today, also has very hygroscopic properties that can attract water. Water in the fuel system has a negative effect on the quality of the fuel. Any ongoing effects will lead to more problems in the long term.
If you really care about your vehicle, it's imperative to maintain your fuel and oil systems for optimal performance.
Water from condensation in your fuel tank can affect the performance of your engine. The Blue Chem PowerMax Fuel System Cleaner with nanotechnology can protect your vehicle from condensation and carbon deposit buildup that could lead to engine hesitation, poor fuel economy and increased emissions. When PowerMax Fuel Systems Cleaner is poured into your fuel tank, moisture in the fuel system mixes with the fuel and the cleaning additive. This emulsion then cleans the injectors when it combusts in the engine. This special additive improves the engine efficiency by cleaning and lubricating key components of your vehicle's fuel system and prevents valve deposits. It binds and removes water and helps keep fuel lines free from corrosion for fuel tanks less than 80 litres. One bottle should be used regularly or every 3 to 6 months as required. When your oil and filters are changed, some old oil may remain in your vehicle's engine, which is normal. But what happens is the remaining old oil mixes with the new oil, making it look dirty and contaminated. This is why it is important to clean the inside of your engine and remove these operational contaminants. Over time, chemical compounds in engine oils break down, causing the oil to oxidise. This results in a buildup of sludge particles. It can result in increased oil consumption, increased emissions and loss of power. PowerMax Blue Chem Oil System Cleaner with nanotechnology works to remove deposits and other built-up material contamination inside your engine. This helps to reduce wear, decrease oil consumption, reduce emissions and restore uniform performance across all cylinders. The Blue Chem PowerMax Oil System Cleaner is designed specifically to pre-clean and protect engine surfaces and keeps new oil at maximum performance. Blue Chem recommends that the oil system cleaner should be performed at every service or when a vehicle is used for heavy-duty work, when any oil and filter service is 2,000 kilometres past due, when the engine oil level is below the minimum indicator, when there is a strong burnt oil smell coming from the top of the engine, or if there are any signs of sludge discovered during the oil and filter service. All the engine and fuel system parts are cleaned by the removal of dangerous deposits and are also protected against any new formation as you drive your car. Blue Chem PowerMax products restores the vehicle's manufacturer's specifications. Reduced emissions, harmful substances, increased mileage each time you fill up, ideal engine performance, a longer lifespan of your engine, and therefore a reduction in service costs by using the Blue Chem range of products.
Our products are simple to use. Experience the PowerMax difference because it works.
Coming up, we catch up with Nathan Higgins as he showcases his new range of head and manifold packages.
My project car has been a 1984 VK Commodore. I've gone and put a LS engine in it with a power glide and a 9-inch, and want to go and race it, cruise it, take the family out, but then go and have some fun at the racetrack as well. So the engine is a 7.4 litre all alloy LS based engine. We got Nathan Higgins LS7 cylinder heads on it. His LS7 intake manifold, big solid camshaft, 14:1 compression. It's done a lot. T&D rockers, everything. Engine wise, it's around sort of 850. There's a few more things we've got to do to see the best out of the engine. The manifold is from Nathan Higgins to suit his LS7 cylinder heads. It's a 4500 Dominator pattern to suit LS7 heads, only just recently released. I got one of the early ones. Nathan's manifold suited the build perfectly. Short runners, good for high RPM. Having the cubic inches that I've got, the thing doesn't lack any torque anyway, and that style of manifold allows you to turn it hard. Nathan, how are you?
Hey Matt, how you going?
Yeah, good. Well, I got my car all going.
It's all going, it's off the dyno yet?
We've still got a bit to do.
Is it good?
It's all right, yeah. It's strong.
Strong? Yeah. So the manifold's working?
I think the whole combination's working pretty good now.
Yeah, killer.
Yeah. We've got a bit of stuff going on here, mate. So we got small block Chevy over there.
These ones are my Brodex 13 degrees that we've just been mucking around with. We've had a couple of good results with these now.
Yep.
That's the LS3 head that we ran the other week.
Big engine head. Yep.
Yeah, with the manifold that we did. We're about to hopefully start selling them.
Yep.
Then that's my Aussie made head.
The LS7 head, yep.
That's obviously on your car.
And you had any luck with these Holden heads?
The Summernats this year, it didn't go too bad.
Yeah.
2,500 horsepower.
Yeah, right.
So I would say that would have to be probably
It's
the
nearly
most...
as much as my car.
Nearly.
Yeah.
Just 3 times as much.
Nearly.
Hey, that would have to be the most powerfulest Holden head on the market now.
Yeah. All right, so you got the runs on the board with the Holden head. What about the Cleveland head?
Yeah, the Cleveland head's working really well. We've made like 930 horsepower on pump fuel.
Natural aspirated.
Yeah, natural aspirated. So that's a really good one. That same engine went 968 on a bit of race fuel, so that's good. And then the turbo guys, with Frankie from Dandy Engines and Cole Cox, one of Frankie's customers, have both gone 700s. So hopefully next time out they should crack the 6s. With
Pretty serious street car.
Oh yeah.
It's all good and well to have the best cylinder head in the world, but if you haven't got the manifold to suit,
oh, 100%.
Joke, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. Let's say you could have a head that flows 450 CFM. You put a manifold that's not sized right, not suit the application, and it doesn't matter if it's 450 CFM or 350 CFM, it's not going to work. So the manifold is now just as important as cylinder head.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have a combo.
Yeah. And they're trying to focus more on getting even distribution?
It eliminates you from running different cam timing on different cylinders. Like it's pretty much, you can run a square cam now.
So that's what they used to have to do that, didn't they? They would run different cam timing to suit the inlet runner.
We're talking top-end engine builders would run different cam timings for different cylinders.
Yeah, that's full on.
That's how advanced it got.
Yeah, and now with that manifold design, they don't have to do that.
Now we eliminate that. These manifolds, Ford and the LS, in testing, 8 cylinders are running within 50 degrees of each other. That's how close they are.
Exhaust gas temp,
Yep.
These cars are backing up what you're saying they do in terms of the dyno and the flow numbers. What's next?
Eventually I'll have a small block Chevy head and a manifold on the market, with, hopefully this year.
Yeah, if you can put those packages together, it just makes logical sense to me. You can now sell a top-end package, manifold cylinder heads, probably even advise on a camshaft and say, go and put this together. If you've got the right component and a good bottom end, it'll make the power that you want.
Oh, 100%. The last, say, 2 or 3 years, that's what we've really been concentrating on. Heads, camshaft, and obviously the manifold. The whole top end's where it's at.
Yeah.
After the break, we head to Superformance as Cowboys NRL superstar Josh Maguire hits the road in his new ride.
Okay, so the car's been completely painted. We've bolted the body back onto the vehicle and we sent the car off to the dyno shop. We'll get that back shortly, and once we get it back, we'll do the final rubbing and buffing of the car, and then it'll go to final assembly and get the trim back in it, and then mission complete. So we've got the car back from dyno. We put it into the good lighting in the booth and we're just going to rub back the paint. We put a few layers of clear on it, so when we rub it back we get a nice flat clean surface. He'll then do a couple of buff stages and we'll start assembling the interior.
So the car's been completely painted. We've rubbed the whole thing back with 400, 800, 2000 and 3000 grit sandpaper, and then I'm just finalising the back area here, and then it will be polished, and like the rest of the car already has been, just as the last little bit. I think that the colour really pops. I was surprised at how much depth the colour really brought out. It's not a candy or anything, but it's got a real sort of transparency to it that makes it real deep. I think Josh will be wrapped with it. The paint laid down super sweet. It's buffed up real nice. I think he'll love it.
So basically the guys are just finishing off the trim. Final assembly, we just got the seats left over, so everything's gone in without any damages so far, which is nice. So the trim on the car was a little bit tricky. We made most of the panels ourselves and then had to get the trimmers to manipulate the shapes and give us a bit more gap clearance. Because it's such a small body and we wanted a nice design in there, it becomes harder to fit everything. So even down to the seat frames, we had everything's modular and all has to go in a certain way. But the end result speaks for itself, and the aluminium finishes throughout the car are quite nice. So Joshy's coming to have a look at the car for the first time since it was just a basic body on the frame. He hasn't seen the car at all, hasn't even seen the colour. We know what sort of colour we were going for as the maroons theme, but he hasn't seen any of the car, hasn't heard the car run, I haven't told him about the car. I was with him on the weekend having a couple of beers, but I just said it's a secret, he has to come and see for himself.
Is that cool? Yeah.
What do you think, mate? Turned out all right?
Oh, mate, I'm blown away, to be honest. To see what it was to now, it's crazy,
Big
yeah.
change.
It's a huge change. Beautiful colour.
Turned out all right,
Yeah, it's perfect colour, I love it. I can't believe how loud it is. Like, it's...
Yeah, there's not much exhaust happening.
No.
Straight out. There's a little muffler in here,
Yeah.
but then it just dumps out, so it's crazy loud. Been on the dyno, 400 at the wheel, so it's about 550 the engine, so it's sort of, it's pretty stout for a go-kart.
Oh, I bet.
Basically.
Jeez.
So we'll take it for a spin.
Yep.
And see what you really think.
Oh, mate, I'm blown away, I can't wait. Maguire, check out what Super Performance made for me. Get down and see the boys and see what they can build for you.
Next time on Rides Down Under Workshop Wars, in our final episode for the season, we head to Bairnsdale Drag Race Track as our teams put it all on the line in a quest for bragging rights. If you think you've got what it takes to be part of Workshop Wars, contact us for our next season.